This is going under Brooklyn Cafe.
This is going under 2020 Vision after Brooklyn Cafe.
So Brooklyn viewers.
Brooklyn views, yeah, basically.
Hello, Brooklyn viewers. This is Dan. I'm here with my premiere episode of Dan Rants. As I said, I'm Dan. I'm in. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I thought you didn't have your mic on, being that's your first episode. Go ahead. No, you good. You can go ahead.
This is the premiere episode of Dan Rants. I'm Dan, of course. I am actually a little bit new to this area of Florida, but the Brooklyn Cafe show has been one of the best blessings in my life, and here I am to do my show. So this is going to cover a lot of things Boston area, where I'm from. This is going to cover, huh? Unbelievable. Okay, we already got problems right away, right off the jump. I want to talk a little bit about the differences I've noticed between, Massachusetts and the Florida area. Talk a little bit about inequality, police brutality, things like that, little hot button topics.
Yeah.
And mostly just me. So what we got going today? I want to talk about some of the biggest differences that are peeving me with Florida. I gotta say, when people ask me what I missed most about being back home, I gotta tell them hills. Florida is flat like a pancake.
For anybody wondering, the thing under his name is called Mosquito.
Oh,
and that's how I spell mosquito.
Wow. He put mosquito and didn't even spell it right. Okay. See, that's the kind of respect you'll get down here in Florida. But anyway, yeah. I moved down here in, let's say about 6 years ago. And I spent some time between the West Coast, Naples area, and this coast, up and down Boynton, Palm Beach, Broward. And there's been a lot I noticed. It feels like Boca is a very nice spot here on the East Coast, right across the state from your very nice spot on the West Coast. And I wonder if that is a coincidence or if there's something about that latitude line that is so attractive to Americans from the Northeast. I want to say, it feels to me like Florida is much more run by different industries than what I'm used to back home. Massachusetts does not get a lot of tourism. We do not have a lot of casinos. We do not have a lot of those party late night vibes that Florida seems to have. Now, Florida, there's quite the prison industry here. There's quite the jail industry here. A lot of money being made off of that. Doesn't seem so cool. I like Massachusetts where Bostonians, we have the finest schools in the country. We got Harvard, fill in the blank. And our hospital system is, second to none. We got Mass General. We have Brigham and Women's Hospital. I personally had my open heart surgery at. Yeah, that's that scar.
Mass General?
No, Brigham and Women's.
Women's.
I did have an open heart surgery when I was 25. Yeah, and Florida, it's not surprising that Florida has so many penal systems, so many penal facilities. As what I noticed when I moved down here real quick is the police down here, they are going to grow you up real quick. They do not like back talking. They are a little more harsh, and that leads me into today's rant, which is I want to talk about how there are no charges filed in the Anthony Brown case. As some of you may have seen, Anthony Brown was a 42-year-old man who was gunned down by the police, and they ruled that the use of force was necessary. Now, I understand the way the laws are written. Maybe, probably, they're going to get by with that. Probably. I do not believe the use of force was necessary. I think the use of force began before they even got there. I saw that black truck running in there with, it must have been 6 to 8 heavily armed.
Like it was massive.
Heavily armed. I mean, at this point, do we call them sicarios? I mean, they are a SWAT team, but I mean, we can call them sicarios based on the surveillance video I've seen of them in the back of a black pickup truck, guns out, like they want to do a drive-by shooting. And when you lead into an incident like that, of course something is going to go wrong. It's that mindset. It's a mindset, it's a police mindset that needs to change. And I don't know, any with a keen eye may have noticed that one of the officers involved had, big tattoos rolled all the way up his arm. He was trying to look tough, and it's that mindset that we need to overcome for these incidents to stop happening, because it's time. It says all deputies are going to remain on the force with retraining and probably a little slap on the wrist, maybe some desk work. That's about it. But there's so many involved that they repeatedly get away with it. And that's what this is called, a dispersion of responsibility. When there's enough people at a scene, the responsibility for an act gets dispersed. And it's much easier for 6 to 10 officers to take slaps on the wrist than it is for them to give up one of their officers for time. And that's what I believe happens repeatedly. And it really gave me flashbacks to the Ahmaud Arbery situation, where he was running down the street and he was intercepted by a bunch of police officers who don't have badges because they're not police officers. It seemed execution style, and that's what I saw when I watched the surveillance tape of that black truck headed down that street. It looks like a team ready to go on a hit. And that is what I consider use of force, is even pulling down that road that deep, that armed, with that many units. Something bad is going to happen. I've heard a few people, and on the news too, talk about, should police even be making traffic stops? That is where so many incidents occur, is based on minor infractions that tee off a traffic stop, and it escalates. My advice to any viewer is, you have to be the de-escalator. Do not depend on the boys in blue to do it for you, because they may not. They may not. It's like, you got anything for me over there? How have you felt on this case? Have you followed it?
I honestly never followed it. It just always pops up on my Twitter feed. So, matter of fact, I should say I follow it, but I have to say with the whole thing in police bringing out arms, right now, I'll say it isn't the best case for police to bring out any type of arms or ride around in a black pickup truck looking like sicarios for no apparent reason. Like, I feel right now they should, or police should be focused on, I'll say, missing and kidnapping cases, or like something that is something that is, I'll say, I can't say like less
well prioritized.
Correct, because there's too much cold cases right now, being in America, even before everybody started kidnapping, that the police should be working on. Like, it shouldn't be stuffed in a file in a room that's in the back of one corner that no police touch within a year. Like, it's 365 days, and now instead of calling a gun a taser and not knowing that it's gun, now there's a gang of policemen that shot a guy in the back for claiming that this car was being used as a deadly weapon. When clearly he wasn't pointing it towards the cops. Because if he was, I felt like a cop would have been on the top of the roof. But in actuality, the cops were kind of just obsessive on just capturing this man. Like they just captured a big. I don't know how they felt when they saw that he was dead. They probably felt like how Colombia felt when they took out Pablo Escobar.
I'm glad you.
Yeah, I just don't know how they felt like when they did that. Like how are you supposed to feel when you just killed a suspect that you're supposed to be taking in because you are not the law? You're not in the law. They're enforcing it, right? They're just enforcing the law.
They're just enforcing.
Okay, so they have to take the man alive. Why are now these policemen or police are now taking lives all of a sudden?
I'm glad you brought up the use of deadly force because that's something I wanted to touch on too. Is
They should
the
have
police
used.
claim Anthony Brown used his weapon. You know, it's a weapon used with deadly force. That's what they're saying about him? But to me, that implies intent, and I saw that clip. I have no inkling that Anthony Brown was trying to kill those officers with that car. I don't see any intent there. I see his intent as purely to escape the situation, which, by the way, I would want to do too if I saw a goon squad coming into my driveway like that, regardless of what I'd done or not done. So, yeah, I'm glad you brought
I just
that up.
feel like it was too much cops for. I say, was there two guys in the car? Just one guy in the car, right?
One guy, actually.
Okay.
I believe it was in a home. I could be wrong about that.
But still, it's too much cops for a perp. Okay, ratio. Like put in perspective of I'll say a department store, a retail store, or I'll say where you work at the radio station. Like they wouldn't want 4 guys on the same board running the same show. That doesn't make any sense. It's not very productive. It's kind of obsessive in a way.
It's obsessive.
Yeah,
It's
it is.
counterproductive.
It is.
Yeah. So that's what I want to talk about today. This is unfortunately a epidemic going on with the police in America. So there's going to be more of these incidents, as much as that hurts me to say, and I'm going to keep covering it. But that's my rant for today. And next time I'll be coming at you with either Boston commentary, anything current events, or anything personal that I've gone through recently. Thank you for being with me here today for the premiere episode of Dan Rants. I'm Dan Monahan. Thank you. See you next time.